Hi, I'm Trudy J, urban fantasy author. I'm here today to talk about the reasons why I would be killed off pretty much immediately in an urban fantasy or fantasy novel. I think I would basically be one of those characters who'd end up, dead essentially at the very beginning of a novel that involved fantasy, magic, dragons, those kinds of things. So those reasons are, number one, I am quite clumsy. I feel like if I was given swords, arrows and bows, I'd end up tripping and stabbing myself on a sword. Swords are actually really heavy. We went to Weta Workshop not that long ago and I picked up a sword and I'm not even sure I could wield one of those things. They're actually really hard. I think that would be a problem. I think you kind of need to know how to wield heavy weapons. So I would not be able to do that. And also clumsy as in, I don't know, I'd trip and fall when I was being chased by the evil scary monster or whatever. So, bad. That would be point number one against me. I'm not that fast a runner, and I feel like you want to be a fast runner in these urban fantasy and fantasy novels. You kind of need to be able to get out of the way of the oncoming problem. So I am, not that athletic, not that fit. I can't leap onto a horse and ride away. Don't know how to ride a horse. I'm vaguely afraid of horses. They're quite big. We live on a lifestyle property and we've got horses on either side of us. So I see a lot of horses from a distance and they're very noisy and they're very fickle. Not fickle, flighty. Flighty is the word I'm looking for, animals. And they get scared at the drop of a hat. And I feel like I might scare them off. Just a thought. I would maybe, number three would be, I'd maybe not figure out who the bad guy was. I tend to look at the, this sounds really silly, but I tend to look at the good in people. I like to meet people and assume that they're nice and good. And I think maybe if the bad guy was pretending to be a good guy, I just don't think I have a sixth sense that would tell me that they were secretly the bad guy. And I think I might just get caught up and go be nice to the wrong person and then end up getting some kind of evil potion given to me. And I also can't make up my mind. I'm a little bit indecisive. Well, I mean, I'm working on that, but yeah, I am. And see how I was indecisive about being indecisive? Yeah, point taken. So indecisive. I feel like you need to be very sure and certain of your ideas when you're an urban fantasy novel character so that you just keep going and get stuff done. I don't know. I don't have magic. I feel like maybe it would be a good idea to have magic if you're an urban fantasy character or fantasy character. I feel like, I mean, there are characters who don't have magic, and that's kind of the part of the thing, is that they have to fight all the other characters who do have magic. But I feel like having magic is a pretty good thing, especially if you're a little bit clumsy or don't have all the other things that would be helpful, like being able to run fast or ride a horse. I am not that good at keeping secrets. Let's be honest about this here. I like telling people stuff. I talk to people. I communicate. I'm a thinker out louder. I'm someone who thinks out loud rather than thinking about it in my head beforehand. I'll think about it by talking to people about it. I'm a verbal processor. That would be a bad thing. I feel like you need to be able to keep some secrets if you're going to be going around being a kick-butt character in an urban fantasy novel. Just a thought. Next one. This is a funny one because I probably say the wrong thing to the wrong person. And when you're a fantasy author living in a small town in New Zealand, that probably doesn't matter that much. However, if you're a urban fantasy character trying to stay alive and figure out the solution and who did what, I feel like you kind of need to know how to not say the wrong thing to the wrong person. So, and I am not sure that I'm brave enough. I mean, I'm brave in certain aspects of my life, but I'm not brave in that I would stand up to a scary monster there waiting to kill me with only a sword. I go walking, and I've done another video on this, but I go walking down nearby, and there's a section that sort of feels a bit creepy to me, a little bit like there's a bridge and things, and I sort of sometimes wonder whether there's a troll under the bridge. And I have said it previously that I think I would throw my dog, Splatters, at the troll and run rather than trying to defend myself from said troll. So I'm sorry, Splatters. I feel like Splatters might be okay. Like, I'm sure he just run through. He just has to distract the troll so I can have time to start running away, and then he can just run after me. He can run much faster than I can, so I'm sure he'd be fine. But I would definitely throw him at the troll. I'm scared of heights. I mean, who wants a character who's scared of heights? Wouldn't be able to jump off a cliff, wouldn't be able to parachute out of a plane. I mean, I have parachuted out of a plane, but that was when I was like 20 and less scared of heights. Well, I was still scared of heights at the time, but yeah. I'm also scared of sharks, so I don't like going into the sea. I'm scared of spiders and snakes, so I don't really like going to Australia, if I'm honest. Lucky I live in New Zealand where there are no poisonous spiders and snakes. We do have some spiders, obviously. So all of these things make me a rather nervous protagonist. Probably not someone who is going to instill confidence in the people reading or even the other characters. I think the other characters might sit down and have a vote and decide to vote me off the island. That would be happening. I'm also not particularly aggressive. Like, I'm not... I mean, I do karate, and I was doing last night, doing training with my sensei, and he was saying, and I did a kick, I did a roundhouse kick, sideways kick, and I did the first kick, and I barely even hit the pad. It was kind of embarrassing, actually. And it was, I mean, after about half an hour of him kind of saying, right, that next thing, teaching me what to do exactly, and stuff I already kind of knew, but he had to kind of retrain me. I eventually got a decent kick onto the pad, but it took a while, and it wasn't something that came naturally necessarily. I kind of am not, I don't consider myself particularly aggressive. So there you have it. The reasons why I think I would not survive in a situation in an urban fantasy or a fantasy novel. I don't know if you've got any other ideas of reasons why you think I might not survive, or reasons why you might not survive. Feel free to put them in the comments. I'd be interested to know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.